What's up, y'all? So in this video, what I'm gonna talk about is the gear that I used for the video that I made for Elite Finesse for my brand. That's what we're talking about today. So that being said, I'm gonna show the clip, it's just a 50-second clip of the video that I made. Hope y'all like it, but I'm gonna let it play. Here we go. So, one, in my opinion, that video is dope. I like that video a lot. That's probably one of my best videos that I've made. But I know I still got a lot of learning to do, a lot more growing to do in videography and photography. So I'm far from all these good videographers, photographers that really do it on a day-to-day basis, and pretty much what I'm working to get to. But I think this video is dope. I think it's real dope. It was fun doing. Me and my friend Denicio. I think that was about his last week here before he went back to Wisconsin. So I wanted to make sure to get a shoot with him with the black long sleeves that are out now on my online store. But we had to do a video and some photos for the shirts. And pretty much the gear that we used, it was his home gym. In this other room he has, kind of like garage behind his garage, but it was all his equipment. I totally forgot that he had it, and he's had it for the longest, and I never came to think to record in his gym. But it's pretty small, so trying to make room with the lights and everything, moving a couple things around. It was a little. We had to think a little bit. How are we gonna put the lighting? Enough room to do these activities, make it have a lot of action in the video. So figuring that out was pretty fun. Overall, it came out pretty good. Now, with the lighting that I used, this is the lighting that you see right now. This is what I'm using. That's what I use for the video shoot. And honestly, I've had these for a couple years now, maybe like a year and a half. But the brand is, I think it's called Push. These were really cheap. They weren't expensive at all. I got them from Amazon. I think they were about, I don't even know, it's been so long. Let me check. It was about 50 bucks, 70 bucks. So it was about 70 bucks for those lights. I got two, it came with two of them. There's nothing too crazy about them. They don't change color. They don't get brighter. They don't get dimmer. They do what they gotta do. They gotta be lights. It's a pretty good soft light, I think. Honestly, I'm still learning what a soft light is. What a soft light and a hard light is. I don't think it's too crazy. I mean, it's bringing my light to my face right now. I'm still learning a lot about lighting. Honestly, I recently just started learning about lighting. It's a little complex for my mind right now. There's a little bit that goes into it with the main light, backlighting, soft light, autos, like other kind of lights, and put them all together to make the video look cinematic and also look authentic. Doesn't look like there's too much artificial light going on. So I'm still learning a lot about that, which is pretty fun. But these were the lights that I used for a couple of the scenes. I used mainly one. Actually, I used both of them. One was facing Denicio, where it was towards him and giving that light, and I had the other one bouncing off the wall towards his towards the wall, so the lighting off the wall can reflect to him and give him a softer light on the other side. What was also challenging too is he had a ton of mirrors in there. There's mirrors on like every corners of the wall. So recording this, I had to make sure I wasn't getting seen. Recording him and getting the footage, I had to make sure I wasn't being seen on the mirrors. But it was pretty cool. So those are the two lightings I used. I was messing with them, moving them around a little bit. I kind of had the main light facing to where the door was at, in his garage or in his home gym. There was two doors, so I wanted to make it seem like light was coming out through there, and then softer light coming from the other side. For that. Now, the camera that I used was the one I'm using right now, which is my Canon EOS 90D. And I recently got this from my amazing girlfriend. She got this for me as a present. And the camera that I used to have that I now sold to my sister, it was, I don't even know what kind of camera it was. It was a Rebel, let's see.
3 hours later.
It was a long zoom camera, so the lens you weren't able to take off of the camera at all. And I got this like 2 years ago, 3 years ago. It was cool because it had the flip out screen just like this one. And I guess it's a PowerShot SX520. I don't think that's it, doesn't look like it. But moral of the story is that if you zoomed in, one time I was at Red Rocks, and from the top of the mountains, I was able to zoom in all the way to downtown Denver. I don't know if you've ever been to Red Rocks or been to Colorado ever, but that zoom lens could go super far. But the only thing about it was I couldn't change the lenses. I couldn't get certain looks out of it, and that was before I even knew about lenses. I just wanted to record and create things. So I didn't have none of that. No aperture. Well, the lowest aperture I went to was 3.5. Other than that, it didn't go past that. If I'm saying the right things, I don't know. Don't go with me on this. But I was using that camera. So with this one I'm able to take the lenses off. Now the two lenses that I was using is this one is the 18 by 55 with the 3.5 aperture, I think. And then the other one is this one. Everybody calls it the Nifty 50. I actually bought this one. It's brand new. I love this lens. But I was using it for some close-ups, 50mm, 1.8 aperture. But I was using that for some of the scenes too. Those were the two lenses, and that was the camera that I used. And I'm still learning how to use the right shutter speed, aperture, ISO, especially in his garage or his home gym. The lighting was really dark and really dim, so I didn't want to bring up the ISO too high to make it grainy. So I was still learning on that, make sure it came out nice, make sure it came out clean, came out smooth. And it did. To me, it came out really good with the little lighting that we had. And so that was the camera that I used. I didn't use any camera stabilizer. I don't have one. So it was mostly handheld, but I used this. I used this little small tripod thing. This is an old one too. I've had this from my old camera. But just so I can have some leverage holding the camera and recording and doing movements instead of just holding it handheld, which works good for me. Obviously, I want to get some smooth shots, like the last scene of that video, zooming out of his face. I wanted it to be really smooth and tried not to be shaky. We had to take that over and over until I thought it was nice. But that just took a while to do, and with camera stabilizer, it would have came out smooth. And the camera doesn't have an in-body stabilizer at all. With it would have helped, but this got the job done. Of course, there's gonna be a lot of movement, so I wanted movement in there. Just for certain shots, I wanted to be smooth on certain scenes. With that, we just used all the equipment in his gym. We used everything in there. I had an idea, but I didn't have any script or anything like that. Any storyboard how I wanted it. In my head, I just have it. So that's something that I gotta get good at too. Is just storyboarding and knowing what scenes I'm gonna get for certain scenes. So I know I gotta get better at that, and that's something I'm working on. But overall, everything I was picturing in my head, I knew how I wanted I knew how I wanted the introduction to be, and I knew how I wanted the outro to be. And overall, it came out how I wanted. There's a lot of scenes that I didn't use, but of course, the more the better. The more footage you get, The more you can mess around with, the more you can add, the more you can take out, so that it can go smooth and make sense and doesn't have too much nonsense into it, but you always have some to add if you don't have enough. I added some sound effects to it, but what would have been nice, and I didn't think about this until I was watching the footage, was to actually hear the actual weight moving, since you had metal plates. But there's music playing in the background, so I knew that I didn't want that playing in the background on top of the music that I was playing for, added onto the whole footage at the end of it. So I added sound effects, and I got the sound effects from Epidemic Sounds. A lot of videographers use it. I'm not sponsored by them or nothing like that. It'd be nice to, but I'm not. I just use them because I got it from other videographers, and that's what they use. So I use those sound effects for the movements, for the metal, putting the plates on top of the bar, taking the plates off, the plates going up and down, the medicine ball slamming side to side. That's what I got those from. And then the music, I got it from Epidemic Sound too. Now for me, the music is always the hardest part because I just want it to fit. I just wanted to go with it. So that takes me forever to do. Most likely what I gotta start doing is find a song first, so then I know how the song's gonna come out, so I know how the beat goes, so I know how to have the cuts, so I know how to have the scenes cut, transition, and everything through that. So I gotta get better with that, or that's something that I might start doing for my future videos. And that's pretty much it. Use 2 lights, $60. Use an old tripod that I had. Use my camera and the 2 lenses. The first lens, the 18x55mm, I didn't even buy that. That was off of a camera that my cousin sold to my sister, that I borrowed to use, because it's not too close to my face, something personal. It's just a nice lens, but I'm planning on getting a better lens than that for myself. But so yeah, that's not. I didn't even buy that. This lens that I bought was about $150. The most expensive thing that I probably have, and should probably be and not be the most expensive thing, is the camera. And I didn't even buy that. My girlfriend bought that for me. So mainly the things that I bought is the cameras, the tripod, and that lens for that whole shoot. And those have just been from over time that I bought. It wasn't all at once, it was just over time from making previous videos. But that's it for this video. I hope y'all enjoy. If you like more videos like this, let me know. If you like my channel, like, subscribe, do whatever, comment if you like to. I'll just say what's up for y'all down there. Other than that, hoodies are out, long sleeves are out on my website, theelitefinesse.com. Follow my Instagram at _.greza. It's gonna pop up on the screen. And then follow Elite Finesse. Catch y'all on the next one. Stay tuned.